What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Get Off My Lawn, brought to you by the World Foam Alliance. What is the Get Off My Lawn? It is a bi-weekly show we have on Wednesday between myself and Captain Xavier, where we talk about everything foam flinging and the World Foam Alliance. Now, for those that are new here and do not know what that is, the World Foam Alliance is a collective that a group of us had started about a year and a half ago. The idea being is that there are so many foam flingers all over this country, in your backyard, all over the world, and every place, but we just don't know where everybody is. What is our goal and mission? To link us all together, to make one centralized place where you can find other players, you can find other teams, and it's the one place where you can actually go and then find out where all the events are. At the same time, the website that we are creating, it will be the worldfoamalliance.com. Was there a change? There is a change, but that's okay. Just because last year we did kind of get stagnant, but we've actually regrouped, reorganized, and we are making great progress. In fact, I may actually drop the hint that pretty soon through the website, you can actually buy merch. World Foam Alliance t-shirts and other fun things, and it'll actually be much more of a website than what it was. So we're excited about that. But anyways, the point is through that website, we'll be able to capture information. You'll be able to find other people, and therefore we're able to share and then just keep on growing. In the meantime, if you have not, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the like button and please share. The more we share, the more we like, the better this channel grows. What happens when this channel grows? We actually make money. Is that good? Yes. Are we getting rich? No, this is a nonprofit in the fact that we make no money. We just do this because we believe in it. We have a lot of fun, and we're going to keep on doing this. Obviously, the more money we make, that means we can actually pay for other stuff and therefore speed along the whole process of making the World Foam Alliance bigger and better than it is. Now, with that, just to let you know, today we do have special guests. It is one Dr. Flux and one Luchathor out of darts. But before we get to them, let's not forget, I'm not doing this by myself. We have one Captain Xavier. Cap, man, what's shaking, brother? How are you today?
I'm in the dark.
What happened?
I'm good. I turned the lights down. I'm good. It's cold and damp here. The weather is absolutely miserable, which is why I'm inside today and not streaming from the shop, because I'd need to have a heater going, and then you'd hear that droning in the background. Yeah, we got good guests today. I got questions for them, and I hope the people in the chat have questions for them, because I don't want to be the one making up all the questions. Good stuff, exciting times. I need to get down to visit these mooks. But yeah, looking forward to events this year. There's got a lot of good events, and I'm hoping to actually travel again. And yes, we are trying to grow the World Foam Alliance so that the World Foam Alliance can help put on big events. We have plans. Obviously, they have not come to fruition yet, but we're getting there. We're making progress, and it's good.
Yes, we are. I'm excited about that. Speaking of events, just for those that are local or traveling to the DC area, my first convention of the year, it's happening. It is KatsuCon. KatsuCon is not happening this weekend, but it is happening next weekend, Valentine's Day weekend. It is the, whatever that Friday is. Is that the 14th? 14th, 15th, and 16th? KatsuCon at the Gaylord National in Maryland. I have a double booth. You're going to come find me and all the crazy, stupid things that I make and sell. It will be there. Even if you want to just stop by and say hi, that's fine. I will not make you buy anything. I've never been that way. But at the same time, if you want to buy something, I probably will not stop you. At the same time, in the booth, you will find myself. You will find one. Well, my buddy Nate, who I drag along to everything, also Wolfguard cosplay that you'll find in the chat. One Andrew, a.k.a. Dark Sweep. And then also Cordell from the Maryland Foam Alliance. He will also be there, plus some of my usual people that come out, and we always have a lot of fun. So if you're in the area, come out and do that. I'm sure there'll be videos and pictures of that. What about you, man? What do you got going on? What events are you doing, brother?
Well, was it last weekend or the weekend before? I recently went to a convention myself. We went to Fan Expo Portland. I mean, a couple of the crew, as well as Dustin Bergen, came up, and so I got to see from a distance. I didn't actually meet any of them, but I got to see some famous people from a distance, and that was kind of fun.
Was it packed and crazy like conventions usually are?
Not, yeah. I mean, yes. We were there on Sunday, so it was the last day, so it was probably slightly less packed, but there was still a lot of people. So Portland's got plenty of nerds.
Fan Expos generally the Saturdays, man, are the crazy ones where it is just ridiculous amount of people. And then Sundays usually depends on who the main acts are and how many are left over. So it all depends. If you like to do If you want to be in the thick of it, go Saturday and do not complain about not having personal space, being bumped, stepped on, being hot, people stink, whatever it is, man, do not complain. That'll happen. If you want less chaos, the Sunday is usually the better day to go. But also at the same time, if there are rare items that you're hoping to find at vendors, they're probably gone as well. So just so you know, if you do events like that. I'm also assuming there was no foam flinging thing at Fan Expo.
No, not that we saw anyway. If they had it somewhere hidden away, we didn't notice. That wasn't in the main gallery like Dart Zone does when they go to cons.
And what does that tell you? Because we're the only ones that do it. Ha! Why? Because we're awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyways, without further ado, because sometimes I think people want to talk to us, other times they're like, yeah, whatever. We know who's here, man. We can talk to you two all the time.
Get
So
to
how
the
about you just step
cool
aside?
kids.
Yeah, man, get to the cool kids. We have questions. So then, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not met them or if you don't know them, the beautiful thing is I got to meet him when I went out to see Captain Xavier, because it really is. The Pacific Northwest has this centralized location of all the cool people in our hobby. They're all there. So what we have today is actually one Luchathor and one Dr. Flux. And the best thing about both of them, if you don't know and you've been living under a rock, or maybe just new to the hobby and you don't know, they are both now Dr. Flux and Luchathor of Out of Darts, man. They both are with and work at Out of Darts, which is also a great thing. It's side note, and we'll talk about this. It's fantastic when you see so many facets of our hobby, of our niche, coming together to work together to make it bigger and better. So it's things like that that I'm very excited about. But anyways, without further ado, we have one Dr. Flux and one Luchathor. Gentlemen, man, what's shaking? How are you guys?
Good. How's it going?
Howdy.
We aren't too bad, man. So I guess we should start with, well, as you know, you'll probably see on their shirts and otherwise who's Dr. Flux and who's Luchathor. And again, if you don't know, I won't make fun of you too much. Maybe I'll make fun of you later, especially if you've been around here for that long. And it's like, dude, you do not know. That is why we have one Captain Xavier. He'll make fun of them, but I'm sure they'll poke fun back at him.
I would hope so.
All right, so how about we do this first? I'm going to put Luchathor on the spot. Luchathor, who are you? And tell people who you are, man. Come on.
Yourself.
Okay. Hi, I'm Luchathor. Very small content creator. Well, retired content creator, but Nerf modder now, and I work out of Darts. So that's kind of me summed up.
There?
I'm doing inventory and just general warehouse stuff. That's kind of what I'm doing right now.
So when you do like inventory and warehouse stuff, I've done it at some point at various parts of my life, and usually it's stuff that you have no interest in, or it's like, great, this product. How much different of experience it is now that you're doing inventory and warehouse, and it has to do everything with your hobby. That's got to be different and awesome.
Oh yeah, it's way different. Like it's cool when like you see a product, you can immediately identify it, and what do you call? I like that. It interests me. It's not just boring, like slogging through the day. It's stuff that I'm familiar with and am willing to put time in to learn about.
And you
Dude, that's
kind of puts
awesome.
you in a position to directly improve the hobby.
Yeah.
What's that shiny thing behind you? Explain yourself. What's going on there?
Oh, hold on, should we introduce Flux first before we
forget
get
it.
lost in Luchathor?
The shiny thing.
All right,
Ooh,
hold on, Flux. The shiny thing, quickly. Tell us about the shiny thing.
What's the thing?
Well, these are at a dart. This is an all aluminum Quinlan.
Toy. It is a
Toy.
YouTube.
Toy.
It's
so heavy.
Toy.
I swear, we're gonna get shut down before we hit the 10-minute mark, and I blame me.
There's
No, put it. It's all right. Put it down now. Put it down now, just in case.
You're not supposed to touch it. You're
Fun
just
fact,
supposed
it's
to
almost
talk
7
about
pounds.
it.
That's awesome. Oh, I love that. We're going to talk about that too. All right, so now we also have Luke, which is Dr. Flux from Out of Darts, man. Flux, man, what's shaking, brother? Tell everybody who you are, just in case they don't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm some guy that makes videos online and works at Out of Darts. Yeah, I don't know. I just an enthusiast for the hobby and love building, love going to events, love meeting new people. I don't know. I'm pretty much dabble with everything as far as designing, like involved with design stuff and products that are being carried in the hobby, events. I don't know. It's just I'm kind of all over the place. So the YouTube channel is something I just do out of passion. I really enjoy making content. Actually, there's been kind of a struggle where getting the job at Darts is kind of like, this is my dream job. Do I keep making content? But it turns out I really enjoy making content for Dr. Flux on that channel. So I figure I'll just keep doing it for now. And then also now I get to make content at Darts and be involved with, what they do there. So yeah, really exciting, but that's pretty much who I am in a nutshell.
And you're currently in the workshop, right?
This is basically the Flux Labs workshop. This is not Darts.
Oh.
This is my personal. You know how it is when you have your own space because your brain works a certain way in a certain space. I can't expose this to other people. So this is my personal little workbench.
Cool.
I hear you got some crazy guy in inventory that keeps on putting stuff in the wrong place.
Oh. Who, Jose? Luchathor? No, he's been great.
Clearly, there's a Quinlan on his couch, man. Like I don't think that's
no,
not
he's a crazy guy that actually buys this stuff. I mean, he bought a Schwinn alien. What was that one thing he bought?
Yeah, the Schwinn rifling alien pistol.
Yeah.
It's like 550 or something like that. It's too much.
Like a $500.
This is my second all aluminum blaster.
Yeah,
that is.
I can't make fun or poke fun because I spend tons of money on this stuff.
Yeah, if I wasn't saving up for travel, I'd have grabbed one of those aluminum Quinlans in a heartbeat too, just because they anodized it orange. I want it so bad, but
they
can't justify $800.
They went fast, and we're looking to carry some more. So don't worry, there'll be more opportunities.
I might have to start setting aside money.
So have you guys sold out already of the all metal Quinlan?
We did a run of 10. I think we might have one left, or we might have sold it. Yeah, they went pretty quick.
Good. Remove temptation from my life.
Yeah. I was gonna buy one too, and I'm like, I just can't do this. I had to set aside. I'm looking at it, and
yeah, I've got a regular one, and unless there's really a huge performance difference, I just couldn't justify it.
Yeah, that's not why you get a full metal Quinlan.
No, you get it so you can fondle it and polish it and put it in the corner and gaze at it longingly.
Buy it its own couch, apparently.
Yep, for sure.
That's where you stored your Quinlan, on that couch, Luchathor?
Maybe. Yes.
The couch looks familiar. I think I've seen that in a video or two.
No. Funny thing about the all metal Quinlan too, about buying it. I don't know if you bought one, but it was about 4 or 5 days ago. It wasn't a week ago. Maritime Foam with the same thing. He's like, Al, I'm going to buy it. Never mind with the Canadian dollar being at an all-time low with shipping and everything. He's like, it's going to be like $1,200. I want to buy it. I know I shouldn't, but I think I'm going to buy it anyways. Would you please talk it out of me? I'm like, would you just stop, man? I said, just buy it at Maryland Mayhem when you're there. It'll be cheaper. The exchange will be better. But that's then. Shut up. No, they won't go away. Don't drop $1,300 on it, man. Like, come on.
I did hear rumors of some possible other colors too, so that's all I can say about that.
I
know Captain obviously loves the orange.
Oh,
it sounds like we will carry some more orange, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is
very
awesome.
Cool.
So for all those watching at home that have no idea what we're talking about, the Quinlan is Worker's latest product into the marketplace, and it is a bolt action sniper. Without it being an all aluminum one, it is a phenomenal blaster, which still hits about on what's she hitting at?
Like you can get up to 300.
Yeah, it hits 250 out of the box.
Yeah.
But the metal one comes with the upgrade
There's
already.
no weight on the prime. It's
so nice.
It's so quiet. It's very, very deceptive because you just get this, and it doesn't sound like it's something that's firing at 250 FPS,
Yeah.
but it is.
The craziest thing I keep hearing, and this is just from just people talking and stuff, like there's this big push to try to bring the power down. It's like, oh wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
What
I
are you
remember back when I first got into the hobby, getting a blaster over 100 FPS was considered an achievement, and now
Yeah.
getting a blaster under 150 FPS is considered an achievement.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I managed to get the SBL low enough that I can use it at my local Nerf war. Like, yeah. I've got an event this weekend. I'm planning to go to the mall event up in Everett again.
Okay.
And they've lowered the cap to 130, and I'm like, what do I even have that hits under 130?
Throwing socks. I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to. I might just end up bringing my FDLs because they're adjustable. I don't know that I have any springers that I'd want to be seen in public with that hit that low.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bring out the
So before
old
we go
Alpha
down,
Trooper.
you
just
probably pull it
OG
out.
Alpha Trooper. I picked one up at a Goodwill the other day. Yeah, I'll just rock that. Or maybe I'll just run those new pirate pistols. That's just what I'll run all
Yeah,
day.
where'd you
It's
get
just-
those? Those look really cool.
They were smuggled to me from Australia.
Okay. I saw that. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, I saw a post on Facebook that had the pistols and the musket. And you're like, I hope those become available in the U.S. because I want a dozen. And a random person, I don't, they're random. I probably am supposed to know who they are. But a wonderful person by the name of Jasper just volunteered, like, I'll send you a pair. And I was expecting a pair of the pistols. He sent a pair of both.
Yeah, so what's
and I would also, if I were him, I'd have taken them out of the box and put them in the smallest box possible. Nope.
So what's the big one? It's like a big old revolver looking.
Yeah, it's an 8-shot revolver, but it's also
8-shot.
hammer primed.
Oh wow.
See what now? Now they're like they did exist revolvers and even revolver rifles back then. But if I really wish they'd done it as a volley gun instead of making it trying to hide a revolver in a musket, just make it something that looks like it's got 9 or 8 barrels, which is what they did with the pistol. The pistol looks like a pepper box, and they're gorgeous.
What's that? Carney Rex. It's like a bunch of muskets in a big circle.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. A volley gun. If you look up knock volley gun, cool. It's just 8 barrels all in a row.
Yeah.
Or I think that one was 6 or 9 or something. Anyway, one of the characters in the Sharps Rifles series had one, and it was just always fun because he used it like a shotgun to come around the corner and blow away a bunch of French people. So I think if they'd made it look like that, I think it would have looked even better. But the way they did it, it still looks really cool. And like I said, the pistols are perfect.
They look great. Now we don't have to all have the Busby.
Yeah. These are made by Dart Zone, so they're Dart Zone quality product. I mean, it's solid. Nice. It's good plastic. The ratcheting sound when you prime it is just love the sound. It's a fidget toy for the ears. It's click, click, snap. Like,
So these are potentially coming to the U.S. or what? Would you know the story of them? Or
I have no idea. All I know is that they're made by Dart Zone, and I only know that because on the very bottom of the box next to the QR code, there's in tiny letters it says "Blasters and Darts designed by Dart Zone, Primetime Toys Limited." But there's no marking on the box whatsoever. It doesn't say. There's no brand name. There's no company name. It just says the name of the blaster and 14 plus.
Okay. Yeah, we do have some Dart Zone contacts, so I guess we could reach out and see if they know anything. That'd be a cool product to carry.
I hope they do show up because I want at least 4 more of those pistols. I want a bandolier of 6 of them. I particularly love that they are easier to use left-handed than right-handed. That pleases. Because the priming handle's on the left side of the blaster. It's not centered.
Yep.
Or it's on the right side of the blaster, rather. It's not centered like on a hammer shot. So if you're using it left-handed, it's on the opposite side of the blaster, and you can reach it with your thumb. If you're right-handed, it's on the same side of the blaster as where your hand is. And you kind of got to awkwardly readjust it when you go to prime it. So for once, being a lefty paid off.
The only time, never again. Sorry, man. That's it.
Yeah. And the other thing that I'm curious is typically blasters in Australia are cheaper or are weaker than the same blaster in the U.S. And these things are already hitting 75 FPS out of the box. So, I mean, they could, if that's the weaker spring for Australian laws, then they could be potentially hitting up to 100 FPS in America, which would be awesome.
I wouldn't doubt
They
it,
don't have
considering
great
the way
triggers,
Darton
so I
does
don't
things.
know.
That wouldn't be too much of a surprise. But
Yeah.
before we go down too many rabbit holes, I just want to address. So again, for those watching at home that don't know or do know or want more information. So again, once again, we have Dr. Flux and Luchathor, who are now both out of darts. And I guess we'll find out from both of you. How did that adventure begin, and how did you end up there? And who do we got to bribe to make that happen?
Why didn't I get a call? What's going on here? I'm closer than either of you were.
I guess you start, Flux, because you got there first.
Sure. Yeah, so the whole thing kind of took probably several years, to be honest, probably a couple years. This idea has been floated around, and it's like, oh yeah, chuckled. Yeah, of course. It's like one of those things like, this could never be an actual thing that happens. But it just so happens that also there's this thing where you go through life, you pick up all these skills, and you're just kind of, for me personally, I can do tons of stuff, but I'm not like extremely good at one thing. And so I've always felt like, man, it's like when you're building a character and you spec all over the place, you don't know what you're doing. And then then at the end of the playthrough, you're like, okay, I guess I just have a mid character at everything. But it just so happens that all the skills that I built up are actually great fits for what Luke needed at Out of Darts. And everything from my customer service background to working with some warehouse and inventory stuff to doing all the product development type stuff and YouTube and marketing stuff I did with the Dr. Flux stuff. I got background in IT, which they need IT overhaul. In fact, I just finished redoing their entire network with new equipment and everything. So it's all these little things that just kind of all fell into place. And just one day I was like, I was going through some stuff at work. I was trying to move to a different position. I put out a few jobs. I was doing a bunch of interviews and stuff. And I lost one here, lost one there. I'm like, let me just see what Luke has to say, float a crazy idea. And he's like, no, this would actually be perfect. And I'm like, and I stopped and started thinking about it. I'm like, it would be perfect. And the main thing that really solidified all this is I talked to my wife. I was just like, what do you think about this crazy idea? And she was surprised. Well, I should say surprising. Wonderful wife. Love her to death. She was on board. She's like, yeah, you should do this. Obviously you have a passion for it. I was working government jobs for, almost at least over a decade. I actually started working with the government technically in 2005. So, I mean, that's like a lifetime, 20 years almost. And you get to a point where it's like, I feel like I'm rotting away, just kind of showing up every day, doing the government grind. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy elements of my job, but I just felt like, is this it? This is it, And so I took a chance and had support from my family. And I was like, let's go, let's do it. And so financially, to make this possible, Flux Labs had grown enough to where I could get a facility and pay just to keep the bills to keep the facility running. That's it. I don't make any extra money. So I was like, okay, we'll shut all that down there and bring it down to Vancouver and set it back up, and then I'll just basically work, 10-hour shifts at Out of Darts or longer, and then go home for the weekend or, extended weekends or whatnot. And so far it works. The goal is to eventually move the family down here. But this whole, this kind of helps, it's like a transition period. So yeah, everything just kind of works, and that's where we're at. And then I'll let Jose tell his story, but, or Luchathor. But yeah, that's pretty much how I ended up here. And just so you know, the position is heavy into operations side of the house. So basically the overall, how the warehouse and how, when a customer purchases something it's now in their hands, I'm kind of involved in that whole process, even from 3D printed stuff to development stuff to just the whole thing. And then also I work with media. So, because we have Perry, I'm sure you met Perry. He does a lot of the YouTube editing and stuff and the posts and all the website stuff and listings and all that. So I work a little bit with that with him, but primarily the role is operations.
So if this was a starship, would you be number 2? Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the goal is to take more and more from Luke's plate so that he can, spend time with. He's got younger kids, younger girls, and he wants to, not miss out on some of these really precious moments in their lives. And it's felt like the business, takes a lot of time because he grew it from nothing, and you pour your life, heart, and soul into something, and then before you know it, it's been 10, 15 years. So time's been flying, the thing's been growing, but he needs some time to spend time with his family and whatnot. And so the goal is that I can help alleviate some of that, take more and more responsibility. And so far so good. Everything's looked good. There's nothing. Everything's I don't feel like I'm in over my head at all. I feel challenged enough to where it feels right, feels good. It's really cool to be working my day job and have concepts like, oh, well, what spring do I put in this? Or what darts work well with this, or what kind of lipo shit. It's just kind of wild to me that these are the things I'm doing at my day job, which used to be things I do as just my hobby and I just enjoy doing, so it's pretty cool. That
it makes a lot of sense.
Sorry, seeing all the really cool stuff that's on the way, things I can't talk about, but getting behind the curtain, like looking, oh, wow, what do we have back here? That's been really exciting too.
Absolutely.
I mean, we knew about that months in advance, or a month. We knew about it pretty much way in advance. So,
which makes sense. And like the only thing before we go into to Lucha, and it's kind of like, which makes total sense from terms of with Luke, not you, the other Luke, wanting to expand and then finding someone in operations that has the skills to do a little bit of everything, but at the same time have the background in the hobby. It's hard to find one person, or you find a bunch of people, but then you're actually it doesn't make sense. So when hearing about you doing it, like for most of us that know anything about any of this, it makes total sense, and that's just awesome that it happened. So that's great that it fits, man. And
they even said, like, if you go try to find a fit, like go try to find a COO from another company and try to explain all this to them. They'll be like, what? You guys are doing what with what? Like, all right. Yeah, so it's cool.
It makes sense. All right, Lucha, man. Now your turn. How'd you get stuck on this rough ride with them?
Rough ride. Well, so out of darts, Luke, for years has told me like, oh, I wish you lived closer. I've always wanted to hire you. But I think in the end, it worked out better this way. Because at my last job, I was inventory manager for 7 years. And to be fair, to be honest, like I was kind of just tired of it because it was for a lawn and garden center. So like dealing with soil, like pulp pots, things like that, pottery.
Yep.
But it's stuff I don't like. It's just a job. There's no passion behind it. So anyways, I was kind of like at the end of my ropes, and then like I was tired of people like just coming into work and not doing their job or just not caring at all. That was a big thing. But so when Flux was hired on, he was like, "Oh, Jose would be a good choice." And then he's like, "Oh, if he's willing to move down, let's just do it." And then last year, at both Luke's, which is fun at the warehouse, by the way.
Yeah. Luke, well, I'm just Flux at the warehouse.
Yeah, so you got to go with Colin Goodman, Ood, and you, Flux.
God. No.
Ood and Flux.
Ood.
But yeah, so last year they just said, hey, if you're willing to move down, we'll hire you. We need an inventory guy, which again, the experience of 7 years is actually helping me right now.
Now you had the 7 years, you had the exact skill set that they needed.
Yep. And that was pretty much it. Like I kind of, what would you say, Flux? It was like, I want to say around RAG, it was like pretty much confirmed behind the scenes.
Yeah. We tried to make sure that you knew earlier than later, because I know it was a big shift for your life, for where you used to live and the whole idea of moving down. It is kind of far from where your family is. So
yeah, that's pretty much it summed up. It just it's like I could have been working earlier, but it's better now with the experience also.
Yeah. And you picked everything up so fast. Crazy fast. This is
well, for those that don't know too, like Luch, yes, the background with inventory, but never mind the creative things you did. And like, the best one recently is the mod you did for the
YOLO.
The YOLO.
the YOLO, man.
Somebody
the
asked in the
YOLO.
comments how many people have a Luchathor YOLO. I've got one.
Yeah.
It is one of the coolest mods, and it's just everything about it. The fact that you took it's got to be the smallest magazine fed blaster that's ever existed, right?
Mhm.
It's pretty tiny, and my main thing, I wanted that to be flush.
Yeah.
That was my
it's
main
great.
thing.
So it still closes. It uses the
a lot of
original
soul.
hardware.
I kind of
It's
have
ridiculously powerful. It's
I have an ongoing joke at work every time we sell one. There's always one getting printed. It's just like I'm almost like, oh my god, another one, and he's just over there laughing. But the funniest thing is the first
Oh
thing
my
we
God.
met our blaster mechanic or the guy who builds blasters. He's over there cleaning one up, and he walks over. He's like, "Oh, what's that? Oh yeah, it's pretty cool looking design." I'm just like, I heard him. He's definitely talking about that stinking YOLO. So I walk over and just kind of razz him up a little bit. Like, what is? It's just so funny. Yeah, we saw a lot.
I believe that. So what inspired you for that one, man? Were you just tired? You couldn't find a dart. You had a magazine. You're like, all right, that's it. I'm going to make this work.
No, for me, I wanted a very small, pretty powerful, travel blaster. That was my main thing. Like, this is in a backpack, and that's it. Well, not on an airplane, but you know what I mean. It's tiny.
It's so good because it's like with that size, you can be pretty effective in a lot of different game types and game modes.
Yeah. And it does still work without a magazine.
Yeah.
So you didn't lose any functionality.
No.
You only gained functionality.
Yeah, I've had customer or people I've seen those comments. It's like you can still use it just like it was. In fact, it has the original barrel. It's all there.
You can still just rear load. I mean, you have to open the breech and load, but yeah, you can still load a single dart manually and use it just like before, which is just amazing. Because, yeah.
And oh no, now he works at Out of
for-
Darts, where he has other products, and then the opportunity to execute his ideas. Oh no, what could possibly happen?
Nothing but good stuff.
No pressure, Jose.
He's been talking about some things.
Yeah,
Of course he
wants
is.
to share any of those things, but
You want to share?
Dart Zone Cricket. I'm waiting on those. I saw pictures. I'm like, I want to get my hands on one so bad. Maybe 4.
do we know anything else about it? I mean, is it fold like a YOLO or a solo? Do we know anything?
Nothing yet that we know officially. I'm gonna guess what it looks like is just a variation on the solo. That'd be my assumption.
Can
We
post
haven't heard
a
anything
picture
yet.
of it? Let me see. I don't know if anyone.
If someone's got one posted, that'd be great. It will be interesting to see, obviously, because again, the new year, like always, the new stuff comes out. And again, Toy Fair in New York is happening the weekend of March 1st. So before you know it, we'll probably get new stuff dropping here and there. Do I know what any of it is? No. Do I know who to ask? Yes. Do I ask? No, because I'm getting old, man. I'll know what I need to know. Right now, I'm good, man. I am good. I am just dealing with life, so I'll just be surprised later. And I don't want to be the guy that accidentally says, "Oops."
Oops.
Yeah, it does look very similar to a solo, but with a different barrel, and I assume it still folds.
Yeah, it's kind of that big hole is kind of questionable. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's going on there.
so.
I'm wondering how the airflow gets from the plunger to that barrel.
Exactly.
Where is it passing?
That's what we're
through?
kind of.
That's my hiccup right now. I'm just like, I just want to get one and open it.
I just want to get it.
Yeah.
What is this stuff? Come on, man. All right.
So
Also,
it's not
we
a Pro Blaster. It's an Adventure Force blaster.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So Walmart. So it'd be a Walmart.
it's a Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. They'll do the one that they launch either Target or Amazon or something. They'll do a Walmart.
Correct. Well, Walmart pays the bills, man. They buy en masse, so
Oh yeah.
it makes sense. Now then, I know one Captain Xavier has a lot of questions for our Ood people. So
We do.
what do you got, Cap?
Where's the proton packs?
Works the Proton pack.
Gimme.
We receive about 2 to 3 of these emails a day and various YouTube comments. So I'll just tell
Half
you
of them are
exactly
Captain
where we're at.
Xavier.
Yeah.
It's
So
all
we
just
have
faults of me.
received. I think we've talked about this in the past, where it's the boards. You know, the
It's-
boards are the main, everything about the pack. So
Yeah, the driving
we
heart
have
of the
we have
fantasy
the new
design.
board, and we are putting it through punishment right now, and trying to make sure that they're, basically we're ensuring the quality of these boards, that everything looks good before we pull the trigger to have a ton of them made.
Yeah.
And this is really critical because when you send in to have these things manufactured, you can't find out later, oh great, this MOSFET here is wrong, or this
this capacitor
these
can't
traces
take the juice, and
so we want to make sure that these things are rock solid, because the plan is that once these things are rolling, it's going to keep rolling. There's not going to be like, oh, here's a bunch of proton packs, let's wait another 6 months and maybe we can get some more. It's going to be a continuous, these are now available. So that's why it's so important that we get these boards really figured out and everything looks good. And we're still in the middle of that process.
if you need someone to stress test one, by all means, send it up.
Yes.
I got lots of proton pack blasters I can.
Currently, we are working on some coding stuff with the main person who did the board.
Mhm.
So that we're going back and forth with that with some firmware stuff. So, but once it is to a point where we can really beat it up, yes, definitely we'll get you a couple, and you can stress test it, and should be good to go.
Yeah. I'm looking
that's
forward to
where
it.
we're still looking, probably end of first quarter, beginning of second quarter of 2025. Like, hopefully that's what we're looking at.
Cool. That gives me a little more time. I plan to build a bunch of proton pack compatible blasters.
Yeah.
To roll out with when they go live. I want to have a stockpile of a bunch of Chaoses that have been modded to take proton packs, some Perseus that have been modded, a couple more of the Titans, like the one I built for Al, just so that that'll be how I hopefully fund my travel. So I'm really looking forward to them being available, as well as, I mean, obviously you'll have the Juno.
Yeah, and so I've been cutting down the Juno cage to try to just get it to be the most compact, small proton. Proton
Yeah.
This is what I'm throwing in that thing behind me, that Super Soaker Monster XL.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, a lot of mine, the stuff that I've shoved proton packs into, like my proton wand, the Ghostbuster proton wand. I was still using the Jupiter cages.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and Jupiter, unfortunately, is you have some of those. I'd probably hang on to them and just keep them safe, because we're not manufacturing those anymore, and I don't think we ever will. Just so you know.
Yeah, I've got two built and functional. The modular one that goes on my HVZ loadout, and then I built a max rate of fire one.
Okay.
Just for the memes of it. Just because, let's fire 35 rounds a second. Why not?
Yeah. That's the goal with that thing. Is it's 2, so we're going to have 2 of those.
Yeah, which is nuts.
That's dumb.
Which is what we're here for. It's why we're in this hobby, for the dumb. And I think I've got most of the parts for another one. I think I've got the cage, the body for another one somewhere. That I might build, but I ended up with a bunch of the cages because for a while there, Out of Darts was giving me all of their factory reject stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody bought a kit for a Jupiter and tried to build it and ruined it and mailed it back to Out of Darts to fix, they didn't try to fix what the other person ruined. They just pulled the internals, threw them in a bin, and just rebuilt new internals. Well, I had to get my hands on that bin.
Gotcha.
Pause for a second for those watching at home. Right there, this is why you buy from Out of Darts.
Yeah,
that right there.
The customer service is The more I hear about the customer service, the more like, how are you able to run a business like that?
And you'd hear myself and Chelo, Captain Xavier say the same thing, and not just because we have Flux and Lucha here. it's the first place you go to. It's why you buy it. It's because it's
Yeah.
run by people in the hobby, by the hobby, and are just honest people. So
Actually, as
keep
soon as
going.
we
I
get
just
off
wanted to
this
throw that
stream,
in
I'm
there.
going to be placing.
I can
an
answer
out-of-dark
how you
order.
run a business like that, by the way.
There we go.
You ensure that you're having quality products that don't require a bunch of because we gauge everything. So like the BK 1S, for instance, right? If you look at it as a product, like, yes, there's been some issues with it. Yes, we've had to have some returns and stuff. But if you look at the overall, like how many, like the quantities, it's actually not that bad. And all the customers that have purchased one and have had issues have either A, received new ones, or B, have gotten their money back or gotten store credit to buy something else. So we take care of everyone, regardless as to if a product's good or bad. Now, if it's too bad, for instance, I don't want to put certain things on blast here, but we'll say blaster, whatever, other blaster, if it exceeds a certain percentage of failure, we don't carry it. Like we can't.
Like YOLOs? I mean,
no, YOLOs have been great.
I'm kidding. Keep going.
And so like that's all it comes down to, is that everything is gauged and we look at it. How is the customer experience for this product? And if it's negative, we don't carry it. So that's why you'll notice we're kind of picky and choosy on what we're carrying.
As well, you should be. Yeah, because you couldn't provide that level of customer service for something that half of them break.
Yeah,
exactly. But if you carry a product where 5% of them might have issues, but you provide that level of customer service, people are going to talk about how good it was. They're going to tell people, no, get your stuff from Out of Darts. They guarantee their work. And
another thing I've noticed is people like, oh, well, I'm going to go on Amazon and buy that, or I'm going to go on Taobao or wherever. The problem is they come back to Out of Darts sometimes and they want service and customer support from us. They didn't buy it from us. And I'm like, I'd love to help you, but
nope, that's not how this works.
They have no service contract. They have nothing to support for you. Amazon just says throw it back in the mail and we'll throw it in a landfill. Like we at least don't waste. Like we'll refurb, we'll get stuff, get it fixed, get it back to them, help people troubleshoot their issue, because there's a lot of new people joining the hobby that just don't know. How do you handle a lipo? How do you maintain a seagull? Like what do I lube? They don't know. So and Amazon won't tell you. And these other resellers are not going to tell you. They don't care. They just want your money.
The difference in price between a kit versus the fully built, a lot of people are like, I'll try to build it myself just to save the money, and then it turns out they don't know how to solder. But they can come back. But since they bought it from you, you will guarantee the product, and that just it endears people to the hobby, especially if they were new to the hobby and their first experience is that level of customer service. They're going to stay in this hobby because they're not going to find that anywhere else. That's what's so baffling about it. It's like nobody does that. If it was a good idea, surely everyone would do it. But most people aren't actually, interested.
There's also a lot of knowledge. You need a lot of knowledge to support these products.
That is a big part of it. They've got people like you and Luke and Luchathor who, the answers.
Yeah. I just said all day I'm just answering these questions,
The mook on Amazon doesn't know how to, troubleshoot your BK1S. The guy on Temu doesn't speak English.
Even the people that send us the product don't give us instructions or manuals or anything.
Some of the the NF Strike kits from back in the day, trying to figure out what the menu options were on that little screen, and it doesn't even exist in Chinese. Like,
I don't know if you
just
remember
start poking
when
buttons until it makes the noise.
Phoenix 2.0 came out, and we're trying to Out of Dark's trying to support it. I saw them going in and translating the Chinese instructions for the codes and everything. But that's the level of service we offer. We make sure that after the customer purchases it, we still care about how their experience is, right? That's very important, and it goes a long way.
It does. So if I can touch upon that, because it just makes a lot of sense, especially in terms of when something goes wrong, because as good as you get, as organized you are, there'll always be problems. And the thing is, when something goes out that's wrong, and I've done it, where I've sent something off and it's like the biggest mistake I made was a set of my Legion of Doom shoulder pads that come in red, but I give them the option of selecting new colors. And I get the message, And again, those I sell for about $540 plus shipping's a nightmare. It's expensive. And I get the message, Al, these look great. I thought it was supposed to be blue.
Oh no.
And at that point, it's like, all right, what do? You argue, you fight. To ship it back to me, it's another $100. And I said, you know what? This is my mistake. I am so sorry for the inconvenience. Feel free to keep it. I'll just make you a new set and send it back to you. And then suddenly he's like, I'm an Etsy seller. No, like I feel bad. I don't feel bad. This is my mistake. And in the end, it's actually cheaper for me just to send a new one to you. But a lot of times, sending the new one back, even if sometimes, and I know some people are like, what if they're lying to you? It doesn't matter because a lot of the thing when you're doing an online business, we live and die by reviews.
Yeah.
And for what it costs you, let's say a send a blaster that, let's say in shipping and everything else, you lost $150. It is still priceless as opposed to nickel and diming back and forth, and then the negative press and the bad review you get, which will cost you hundreds or thousands later, just because you thought arguing over $10 was worth it.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. Bad experience, waste of your time, waste of their time. Just, and that's what we do. It's just get to resolution, as best we can to make sure the customer's taken care of, feels good. There's been a lot of times where we just, like motors are a good example. We typically, if you buy a set and you're doing some solder work and whatnot, and you could literally short your motors out. You could do something wrong, and it's like, oh, great, But if you send an email, it's like, hey, look, take pictures. Look what I did. Can you help me? We're going to send you new motors. We're going to sit there and help you and make sure you have the wiring diagrams. Make sure you have all the LiPo safety information, build guides, whatever it might be. We're going to make sure that you understand what, and take care of you. And so that's just what we do.
All right, Cap, you have more questions. What do you got next?
Well, let's see. There were some stuff in the comments.
By the way, I just got a leg cramp. I got to walk this off. Ask a question.
Someone is wanting you to figure out how to make Mega XL accurate.
There's some bright minds working on that already.
Yeah, Misplaced Moose is actually in the comments going, best I can do is mostly accurate.
Yeah, I mean, what they've determined is what is it, 3/4 start?
Yeah, the Greg fires a cut down Mega XL, which
not half.
pains me because of how hard it is to get a hold of Mega XL ammo, and I don't want to cut my Mega XL down. But for a Greg, I just might be willing to.
No, I probably have about 10 boxes set aside for Greg.
We should talk about the Greg while I'm
super
walking.
cheap at a store called Ollie's, but the nearest Ollie's is 2,000 miles from here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we went to an Ollie's at when we went down to Luchathor. Was that in Rag? When we went to Rag? San Jose?
No,
it would have been Maryland Mayhem is where you would have been.
Yeah,
that was in Maryland. Yeah, that was in Maryland.
I went to it too. I've got a box. I've got like 4 or 5 Mega XL still in box from Ollie's too. But you see, like, right. Greg will post, Misplaced Moose here will post a picture of him with a shopping cart full of Mega XL darts. And like, you wretch.
I did that once. Walmart put them on clearance, and I bought a shopping cart's worth. So it was about 45 boxes.
Yeah.
And
I'm jealous. I think the most I ever bought was like 10, maybe 15 boxes.
I think they were like $2.50 a box or something. They were real cheap.
Yeah.
They were. And I guess on that note, the Greg. Oh my God.
Well, welcome to the conversation. Greg. That's what we've been talking about.
Well, I had you in my ear. I just have to walk because I'm my leg has got that next episode we'll talk about everything that's broken with Al. So but that's not today.
Yeah. Did we have a picture?
Greg.
Did we ever find the pictures of the Greg compared to a Moose compared to a normal blaster?
We got something to put up.
Because they're absolutely it's hilarious.
There we go. But you have to understand
you need something for scale. Where's the bananas?
So there it is. Well, beautiful revision.
To understand the scale, you have to understand there you go. That magazine holds Mega XL darts. That's how big this thing
is. That is not a normal human. He's about the size of a space marine.
Yeah, that man is like 6'4" or something.
Oh, I love it.
He makes me look average, which is why I like standing beside him.
Yeah.
Him holding a Greg looks like a normal person holding a moose.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay, so from what I can tell, and here, let me look at the chat because I think Moose is in there.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so this was reworked from the original Greg blaster, right? Like the original Greg one wasn't that pretty. Like that thing looks a lot. Whatever Moose has, the greebling that he's done on there.
Yeah, his remix is way cooler looking.
It's a remix.
I've got both a Moose and a Moose 2.0, and I need to figure out what I did wrong when I assembled the Moose 2.0 because it's got no air seal. I must have missed a gasket somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you do that, man?
It was something to do on a Thursday night, just fling the gasket across the room, build the blaster without it, see what happens.
See what happens.
What happens is that the darts get stuck in the B car.
Oh my God. I too have I have a Moose one of the original ones, then the Moose one that he sent you and I matching ones, and then I do have a Moose 2, and the Moose 2 is he sent me the longest version he can make of the Moose 2 with all the extensions on it, and it's stupidly long, which is still fantastic, and it is a short mega half dart shooter. But yeah, the Greg, I think we have on order again certain color matching Gregs that I look forward to having, and we'll probably have it at some point where we'll do something, and it's going to be just joyous, ridiculous fun and slaughter.
Here we go. So yeah, Moose says the internals are the same between the old big Greg and what's this called? The Mammoth?
Yeah,
the Mammoth Greg.
That's it. That's what he's calling it.
And so the new one's the Mammoth. Yeah, and you did the okay.
All the sci-fi looking greeble work, just gorgeous work.
Greg. Oh man. Can we put that picture up again?
Someone in the comments says it looks like something from Power Rangers, and they're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just comically big. Like,
yeah.
Oh man. I can't wait to build one. And this thing takes forever to print, obviously.
Yeah.
And look at the beak arm. Look at the beak. How many bearings are in there? It's like 1, 2, 3,
I want to say 72.
It is something ridiculous like that. He'll tell us.
Oh
yeah.
My goodness.
Most. How many bearings? Give us the number.
Many bearings. I think you're right. I think it's like I need to close these windows. I got too many windows open.
Problem is delay. We have to wait for him to actually see it, and then he has to.
Yeah.
Give us the numbers.
Give us the numbers.
55. I was
120 plus yards. 55 bearings. 11 by 5.
But at the same time, gentlemen, are we surprised? Because again, Luke, you were there when we were at Captain's firing range playing with the Moose ones. And at 100
those
feet,
little
no
tiny
problem.
blasters? Yeah, we don't talk about
those dinky little things.
Little dinky things.
Yeah, I got my Moose 1 dialed in to the point that I can hit the 100-foot target on my range every single time.
Yeah, that's the thing I like about these large blasters is they're less like if it's windy or whatnot, like the dart's gonna go where it's.
They've got the inertia to actually go the distance and to maintain. Yeah,
it's that.
Half darts are fast and all, but yeah, it all comes down to F equals MA.
Yeah.
Yep, Al's gone.
Al's still here. I
think it's one of 2 blasters I have that actually has a magnifying optic on it that actually matters. None of the other blasters that I've considered putting, you're like, what's the point? I can see the target just fine. It's close enough. It's not an issue. But that thing fires so far, it actually helps to have a magnifying optic on it, which is wild for Nerf.
So
it really helps me because I'm practically blind in my left eye. So
Al's saying what he's running up against is with Mega XL is the darts themselves are inconsistent. Yeah.
And that's always been an issue with Nerf is even the best darts aren't as consistent as a real bullet is in a real firearm.
And to be honest, I feel like an Accu head on a Mega XL might actually help it out.
Yeah,
That's the thing that's I will say it and I'll say it again. Accu strike works, man, and the Accu fakes. That's the thing about the Moose is if you fire anything through it but Accu fakes, you will hit nothing. Even Accu strike isn't good enough in the Moose. It has to be Accu fake. They're the only ones that have the geometry and the mass that blaster really needs. And so, what we really need is an Accu fake head for Mega XL.
Actually,
and you might be able to print one in TPU, but that would slap.
Yeah, for a head, you would have to do a silicone mold of some sorts and use like some type of 2-part rubber mixture. Silicone.
Or you might be able to do a TPU if you did a really low infill.
Yeah,
or had
some
voids in
big
it.
Crush, like the actual TPU can crush really well.
Yeah, if the whole thing was a honeycomb, so it could squeeze, it might. But then you'd be losing a lot of the mass that you're after. But you could put that in the core that goes into the foam.
Also,
either way, I still wouldn't want to shoot it at a friend, maybe at an enemy, but I wouldn't want to shoot it at a friend.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, and we probably should bring it up. I think he's got a disclaimer on this thing.
It's shooting 120.
Do not shoot living targets. There's something like that. Let me just.
Well, think about it this way: when we were up at Borst, we shot. Well, each of us got shot by the Moose at probably way too close. So.
Remember when I shot Joe at Xbox Games? I shot him in the ankle with yours.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He was like 100 feet away. He was like, "Ouch!"
Okay, we've got a request in the comments section. Somebody wants to ask a very specific repair question about a Raven.
Okay.
So Jason, go ahead and ask. I wish we still had. Do we have call-in? Can we do call-in still, or is that not a thing?
No,
we have no call-in. The man behind the other man is, I don't know, spending time with his family or some malarkey. So we can't do call-in tonight. I wish we could, but yes, Jason, give us your question. We'll see what we can do. Now we got to wait for the lag. So how about the Brooklyn Dodgers? Are they bums or what?
They're bums. But hey, the misplaced Moose. Sorry, the Greg. Is it for sale yet in the store? I can't remember.
I think he's got hardware kits up. I don't think anyone's crazy enough to print and sell these things.
Have you met this man? I mean, mooses keep showing up at my house, and I'm not sure why.
That is quite a task. It's got to be like 4 or 5 spools or something.
Moose is turning into a pumpkin.
He is. Eric, man, thanks, brother. Misplaced Moose, thanks, brother. The other thing is the best thing also about misplaced Moose.
Someone says they should just call you, Alan. You'll put them on speaker.
Sure. Send me a check for $57.50, and then we'll talk about
it. Put your phone number on a crisp $20 bill.
Yeah, that's right.
And make it to my P.O. box, and I'll get you in on the next show.
Oh my God! But no, so the comment I wanted to make about
that out loud.
Moose,
Someone's gonna do it.
They probably will, man. Like, come on. The best thing about Moose is that he does not have a CAD background or design background.
Oh wow!
He's just one of those where it's like that's exactly what I said. I said, dude, are you kidding me? So it's not like he had that much of a design background, but just started with the whole concept of I am a large man. I want to make something that fits in my hands, and I'm going to make it big and ridiculous. And see. For those watching at home that think, I can never do this, I don't know what I'm doing. None of us started out because the first blaster I painted was beautiful, right? Yeah, 75 in before I finally figured out something. Never mind everything else that we all kind of struggle through. Captain Xavier, the first time he soldered to what he solders now. You know what I mean? Luchathor. It's not like the YOLO was the first thing he ever made, and he made that ingenious thing. The point being is that, and never mind the stuff that Flux builds. Holy cow, like the armor and the blasters and the color job. Don't think first time out it's going to be great. have fun doing it and just stick to it. That's how we all evolve. There is no savant that suddenly just magically touch something and look at the super thing I made, man. It's a process. Don't give up on yourself and just keep
Every
doing
once in a
it.
while, we do have somebody who joins the Nerf hobby with an engineer. Oh, here we go. Jason's question. Okay, original Raven died. I'm not a solder guy, sandpaper and paint modder. Opened up the shell, wires were fried. Question: is it better to drop in a full harness from another blaster IGM modulus, or is there a kit?
Yes.
I
So Raven is what's Raven geometry? Is it its own? Let me see.
I think it's its own
Yeah.
cage.
It is.
So you're not going to be able to just pull the cage from a modulus, but you could pull the loom as long as the wires reach. So you could take the flywheel wheels off, pull the motors out, swap them over to the Raven's flywheel cage, put the wheels back on, and then as long as the wires will still reach so that all the switches will go to the same places.
Oh, so he doesn't want to solder? Is that did I miss
Yeah,
that?
see the problem is in getting you're going to have to do some soldering. There's no way
Yeah.
around it.
Well, my thing is, if you're going to solder, you might as well grab, because we sell at Out of Darts. So we sell a Raven cage, and you can buy some. You can buy flywheels and wheels, and just rewire it. So I mean, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna solder, you might as well.
there. I don't know of any off the top of my head. Somebody pointed out there are people that used to build and sell pre-made looms. Didn't Anthony?
Yeah, that was a thing for a bit.
Maritime did for a little while, but didn't he stop?
Yeah, so the thing
did
with
for now.
looms is, and I've talked to Luke about this. Looms, as soon as people build and sell, they're gone. Like people just buy them up, because no one wants to solder. Everyone wants that drop in, just drop it in, easy to go, because everyone can do that.
Yeah.
So every time they become available, they go real fast. And anytime someone's like, "Well, I'll do that," that's easy money. They get burned out. It's just because
it's tedious work. It's not enjoyable work. Yeah, I mean you can get it down to a process where you know exactly what length all the wires need to be. Yep. You just solder, throw in a bag, test and throw in a bag.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not difficult, but it's assembly line stuff, and that's some people are made for it and some people aren't. But no, if you want to get into the mod hobby, one of the skills you almost have to have if you want to do flywheelers, you have to learn to solder. It's not that difficult. It's not even that expensive, but do get good equipment. If you get a bad soldering iron, soldering is an absolute nightmare. And I know this because I started with a really, really bad soldering iron.
Something plugged in the wall, just hot iron.
Yeah, basically I was trying to solder with a hair dryer.
Okay. The heat
not
one.
Quite that bad, but you can picture how bad it was. And I thought that's just how soldering was because no one had ever taught me how to solder. I was teaching myself.
Yeah.
And then somebody who I knew who had professionally soldered circuit boards for a while watched me try to solder and almost had an aneurysm. I was like, what are you doing?
Consider is
plumbing
solder is way different.
So I got a decent, the cheaper of the Weller stations that you can get on Amazon. It's like $45 or $50 or something. And it changed my life completely.
Yeah.
And you watch a couple of videos on YouTube on how to keep the tips clean and which solders to use and the techniques of don't heat the solder, heat the object that you're trying to solder to get it to properly adhere. Get some flux. It makes the world of difference. And it suddenly becomes very, very easy. I can completely rewire a strife in less than a half hour now. And a huge amount of that is down to having the right tools. There would be no way I could do it with the right tools, but with the right tools, it's just. So it's a skill you should look into picking up.
Here's a question to the chat.
I do have
if Captain Xavier starts rewiring stripes and selling them, would you buy them? So we can fund a trip to send him wherever the hell he wants to go.
More specifically, if I modded up stripes and sold them to Al the Geek, who then painted them and sold them as one of his monstrosities, what would you pay for that?
Not enough, but everyone wants to hold it.
Yeah.
That's
the thing I've noticed. It's like everyone will say like, yeah, I'll buy that. I'll do it. And then you do it. It's like, that's a lot of money.
That
it's
is a lot of money.
It's a lot of
people
work.
forget that that custom work is expensive.
Yeah.
Commission work is expensive. Back when I was doing commissions, the number of people that would contact me and go, "Hey, what would this cost?" And you're like, "It would cost this much," and go, "Oh," and then just disappear. You're like, well, why does it cost so much? Well, it's this much in parts, and then you're paying for my time and my skill and my tools and my expertise.
Now you got crazy shipping. It's like,
and and shipping. It adds up real quick.
Oh.
People are like, well, I could do it cheaper myself. Could you? Do you have all the tools? Do you know how to do it?
Why are you asking me? Yeah, then why are you asking me?
yeah, do it.
Then by
That's
all
why I
means, do it
encourage
yourself.
Try it.
And
do
send
it.
me pictures.
It's like,
Honestly,
wow,
I've been lucky.
Just wasted, all these blasters and motors and fried all this stuff.
I've been lucky where
smoking.
that-
What did I did wrong? You connected the
God.
black wire to the red wire, my friend.
Maybe I've been lucky where it might that has dropped off for me. Where the silly questions or the ridiculous questions, I always love like a 14-year-old trying to explain to me what a blaster should cost, and I told him take economics and come back in 10 years. But anyways, it's where was I going with this? I don't know, but anyways, that's dropped off. And part of it, as I tell people, it's knowing what you're listing and what to ask for. When you just do open commissions randomly, you're going to get all kinds of questions and it's going to burn you out. You're going to get angry.
Yeah.
You're better off really channeling what it is you're going to do. This is the only options. And it's better on both parties. It's very clear and concise how much it's going to cost. And then on your end, too, you're not suddenly like, I'm sorry, you want me to do what now? No.
For how much?
Yeah, no.
Let's see, we got some more stuff in the comments. Don't want lead in your stuff yet. Lead-free solder. Yes, I do have a video on soldering basics. It's under my Monday Mod Tips playlist. I should probably do more, honestly. The one I should really do a video on is how to solder an XT60 connector. Those things can be.
I recommend this lead-free solder on Amazon's really good.
Pretty sure that's the exact same stuff I have.
Same stuff. We're all using this stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. Yeah,
I gotta stop going to Home Depot.
If people say they could do it themselves, I tell them to. May I ask a question about modifying electronic blasters from Doc Deadlift? Doc, absolutely. Ask your question.
We will think about it.
Fun fact, my first soldering iron was a butane powered one. Very dumb.
I have done like blowtorch soldering there's certain applications where that's the way to do it. Nerf is not that application.
Yep, I found that out.
Like, oh, the plastic has become a liquid.
It's like you set it down because it's hot, but the whole thing's hot.
I think I have one of those too, and I used it once. I'm like, this is no. Yeah, no.
Yeah. No, I used it like when I was, soldering brass to other brass.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
There.
in plumbing. You can use that in plumbing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, in those applications, Flux is absolutely vital. I mean, it doesn't work if you don't use Flux.
No.
It's actually really satisfying too when it just sucks right in.
It's so cool. Like I
Yes.
saw videos of them explaining how you did it, and the first time I tried it, and it literally just went shunk. You're like,
Yep.
That's magic. I'm a wizard.
Life is good when that happens, man. All right. While he's thinking of a question,
Sticking on the
Flux
chat.
and all right, keep looking in there, and I'm gonna ask a question in the meantime. Flux, then, man, what else is there? Anything that you wanted to talk about or let us know about specifically without a darts in terms of either product offerings or something new that's coming down the pipe? Again, I don't care. That's the whole point of what we're doing. It's to let people know what we do and what we offer. So if you got a sales pitch of something coming down the pipe and you want to do it now.
I guess
We got Doc Deadlift's question. He's mostly
All right.
done springers. He wants to get into modifying electronic blasters. What's the best one to start off with to begin with? I would recommend starting with any Strife or Strife variant. A semi-automatic flywheeler is where you want to start.
Yes.
It's the simplest. It's ridiculously easy wiring, but it has all of the core things you need to learn how to do. How to wire an XT60 connector, how switches work,
XP30.
how the circuits work, how to make sure the flywheels are going in the same direction. Once you've mastered that, then you can get into more complicated things like a full auto circuit, which are much more complicated.
Yeah.
Start with a semi-automatic flywheeler. It doesn't need to be a strife, but you could do a strife or a sweet revenge or a what Flux. What's tweaking your brain?
I'm trying to think of a platform that you can, because I'm seeing stuff with like the Dart Zone Maxim, right? So the Maxim, I know it's a full auto, but it's like as you advance, like you can actually add more to it. Like you can start with one, and then okay, now I want to do a solenoid. You can then go back to your Maxim and drop a solenoid in there and buy, get some kit, and we support all those.
Maxim would be a great platform to start with, but I would still recommend starting with the semi-automatic to learn the basics of how like circuits work and how flywheelers work and how batteries work. But yeah, the Maxim is a great platform because it was designed to be so modular.
Yeah, and it takes a strife cage, right? What does it take? It takes something.
I think it does.
Oh yeah, the pusher. Oh yeah, that full auto worker pusher thing you can just drop in there.
That's what it can drop in. Yeah. It uses the worker. It has the mounting points for the worker.
So is that one semi-auto right out the door? Oh.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, if it is, I think the Maxim
auto out the box, and then you can put a foot in it. Yeah, well, there you go. The Maxim. Yeah. Let's hit it on the head. Get the Dart Zone Maxim because you can. What about the Spectrum? The Spectrum falls into the semi-automatic flywheeler. So
and it's available right now, and they're relatively cheap.
Yeah, that's the point. Is the Strife is no longer available in stores, but there's lots of semi-automatic flywheelers. Start with the semi-automatic one, and like Flux said, if you start with the Maxim, then you can upgrade it to a full auto once you learn how to do a 3-switch setup. Which
what a great blaster. 150 FPS.
I've got 2 of them in box. I need to do something with.
It comes with talent.
Yeah, somebody says it does take a strife cage.
Yeah, look at this thing. I think that's the
very easy to. Yeah, it's very easy to mangle your XT60, XT30 connector if you don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
I've mangled a few myself, though I figured out the secrets now. I've gotten pretty good at it.
Allegedly.
General Strife. Anybody know where I can get a Titan ASV1 barrel? I got a drawer full of them. Give me an address.
Odds are Captain has a bin or a drawer of whatever it is you're looking for. Oh yeah, by the way, things I'm doing in the meantime because I have a convention in a week and a half and I need product, so I'm being productive. And we're not going to get banned for a mask.
I would hope. He was pulling dead body parts. It looked like a skull. Ah!
Don't give him ideas. All
right, I'm going to scroll back up, take a look at the comments.
Oh,
all right.
While you're doing that, I'll go back to the question you asked me.
Go ahead, Flux.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, biggest product right now that Jose is probably gonna. Luchathor is probably gonna love this one. Momentum.
Yeah.
Momentum. We are working day and night on this thing. we are. Yeah. So we're looking to bring a new wave of Momentums out, and it's been we're trying to get a good sized batch of them, build the cores up, get them tested, get all the firmware on them, get them all configured. And then we'll probably be launching, I would say probably within 2 weeks or so, 2-3 weeks, we should be launching Momentum next phase.
Oh, wow.
Momentum 2.0. Can I bring mine in and get it retrofitted?
What's that?
Can I bring my Momentum in and get it retrofitted?
Yeah, we can probably work on it. We got the benches set up. Now, if you don't know what the Momentum is, it is a dual stage brushless flywheeler that is it's pretty much like when you get to the top lines of brushless flywheel blasters. It's very snappy, it's very accurate, it's durable, and you can get it done in all different types of colors and stuff through our shop. And it's typically it's up there when you go to competitive Nerf events. You'll probably see a Momentum or two, along with some of the SBFs and the Spirits, and it's that higher end, more competitive flywheeler. But yeah, so that's what we're working on.
So then, are there any features of the 2.0 or upgraded version that you guys have
it's not
addressed?
an upgrade. Sorry, it's not an upgrade.
Just the next batch.
It's just the next batch.
Okay. That makes sense.
Previous batch, they go fast. People grab them up real quick. So that's why
that happens at Out of Darts. I can't imagine why.
What? Good product sells. Weird. And you guys sell good product? What kind of a business model is that?
And there is, I'll address one question that probably someone will have, and that is, no, we will not be selling the cores. We are selling fully tested, assembled blasters that we can guarantee. Because once again, we're going back to that customer service thing where we want to make sure that customer experience is positive, and we know that when it left the warehouse, it is 100% accurate, functioning, and good to go. And you can't really do that when you sell just a core.
No.
There's tests and stuff and tweaks you have to do to it once it's all assembled as a blaster. And no, we're not going to put it into it and then take the core out and then sell the core, because that's a ton of labor and man hours. So we're not doing that.
No. But
no,
what
the momentum being a brushless blaster is complicated enough. I would not want to have to deal with somebody else's failed home attempt.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Are you gonna make a battery stock for it? Tell me you're gonna make a battery stock for it.
That one I don't know. I mean,
I've been pushing for a battery stock since I got my first one.
Why we couldn't? There should be already other stocks that we could probably integrate onto it. Is it Picatinny stock?
It's got Picatinny on the back of the blaster. Yeah, it's got Picatinny for the stock attachment point, and then it's got the cap on the bottom of the grip for the battery.
Yeah.
So you would just do what they did for the Gin, and run a battery from the bottom of the stock up a thumb hole stock.
Oh, okay.
And then hook it on the back. It would allow you, because the biggest problem I have with the Momentum is that thing draws so much power that it drains the battery like nothing. But if you could put
essentially a high performance quadcopter.
Yeah. So it needs a much bigger blaster, or much bigger battery, but you just can't fit a bigger battery in that grip. So give me a battery stock. Problem solved. You could then also put an on-off switch on it, which the blaster doesn't have.
Anything else, Cap, that you'd like to see?
Yeah, a drink dispenser and a snack holder. A little flask that goes in there, and then like a little bin of Skittles.
And a shoulder massager.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And something that makes French fries.
That's awesome. So the Momentum's coming out in a couple weeks. That's pretty good. Is there anything else you guys have in the hopper that you can or want to talk about, or no?
Here, let me think. So
I don't want to say anything I shouldn't, so I'm letting Flux kind of do that.
Absolutely. No, we get that totally.
Can I talk about things?
Can I things?
Can I things? We do have a couple really cool blasters coming. I don't know how much I can say about them.
I'm not going to push you on it.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. The Momentum and Proton Pack launch is the immediate big things. That's where we're putting all our bandwidth into. But there are some things
huge on their own
after that, which
I have plans to build a Proton Pack that uses a water cooler tank.
Oh,
I found one at Goodwill for $7.
Nice.
So I'm saving it for when you guys get the new ones in stock. I'm gonna buy one and make it into an obscenely high capacity tank.
Oh my god! That's
all right. We got a question here from Noah Stout. Your video on the self-pumping Titan gave me an idea. What do you all think of a self-pumping break action silly shell fed air-powered rifle?
I think it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, do it.
Yeah, I would love to make the jackhammer.
As long as it yeets that shell.
Hammer. I would love to see a yeet hammer that was HPA. An HPA yeet hammer would be awesome. Somebody get whatever happened to Dr. Pugh. We need Dr. Pugh in his matches.
He pops in here and there. He's still around. But yeah, what was he wearing? That Crusher. He had that Crusher. Yeah,
he had a full auto HPA Crusher. He had the semi-automatic HPA
mag strikes. A dual mag strike.
Yep, he had mag strikes. He had a semi-automatic Roto Fury, a semi-automatic Centurion, a semi-automatic Fortnite grenade launcher.
Oh yeah,
the man had the best stuff. I kept meaning to pick his brain and learn how to properly do HPA because I got a couple of Specs BZs collecting dust. And I've got at least one paintball air tank and a compressor. I've got everything I need. I just don't know how to hook it all up and make it not explode.
Live dangerously, man. Come on, figure it out. Do it in the shop. You'll be fine.
No. I made an HPA tank out of PVC when I first got in the hobby because I was an absolute...
You made a what?
I made a PVC bomb. Yeah.
Don't you got armor? Just put on the armor, man. You'll be fine.
Yeah, miraculously.
Do not do that. Do not try that. That is highly dangerous.
No, that is a bad idea. That is bad juju.
God, it's a very bad idea. Oh, so then
now
actually on the same note,
drain blasters up the wazoo. I don't need to do that silliness anymore. What do you got? Same note.
What I got? Well, at the same thing. So, well, I already know probably which one you guys are going to be at. So, both of you, as long as I guess you're gonna, and if you're showing up, you're probably representing out of darts. Which events do you guys know you will be going to? And are you going to be able to bring like part of the store with you? Have you guys confirmed on any events in terms of which one you'll be attending?
Yeah, so the way we run is our warehouse and our shop is set up as a well-oiled machine. And if we were to dismantle and bring product with us, it actually would be we would not be able to fulfill as many orders. Like it's actually better just to buy through the site.
Okay.
It's a setup for volume, lugging all that product across the U.S. and setting up the booth. We're not going to sell. And even if we sold everything, it's still not anywhere near what the shop does. So typically we don't. It's more of like come see people, say hi, shake hands. We sponsor the events. This year we just had to go over. We have several things we're trying to lean into this year. Unfortunately, we can't make it out to Maryland. I know that's a
what?
I know.
What?
That's why I wanted. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
so as of right now, yeah, no one's going to Maryland. We will be going to RAG. We will be going to Open Sauce. That's a big one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Wait, what's Open Sauce?
It's like a big maker kind of. It's a con for makers, I guess.
Okay.
Convention for maker.
It's a pun on open source.
Yeah, kind of like Mark Rober. You see some of the like Michael Reeves. You'll see maybe Adam Savage or 3D printing stuff. So like 3D printing nerd and a lot of those guys. It's a lot of maker stuff. It's kind of, I consider us all makers. So we are part of this community and this hobby. So we want to kind of go and represent and shake hands with some of the makers out there and show our products and let people see what the cool stuff we do. So that's kind of one of the big ones we want to do this year. What's the other? I think I'm on the hook to go to NWAR. So we'll see what that looks like. That'll probably just be me and Perry possibly. And then
that one's potentially on my list as well. I want to do Maryland, Pennsylvania Survival Fest. It's not in Pennsylvania anymore. RAG, Mall Madness, and possibly NWAR.
Yeah, I would love to make it to Mall Madness. I don't know if I can. That if I did Mall Madness, it would be. It's so close to RAG, isn't it? Isn't it really close?
Yeah, it's usually a few weeks after.
Okay, if I could try to, because the cool thing about my current job is like, before I used to have to take my vacation to go to these. Now I can go to some on my day job, and then I could also take vacation and go to some more. So
that's right.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I'm kind of hesitant. I'm like, well, I'm not going to go to these events. Maybe I can, slip away and actually just go not as for work, So
Mall Madness would be the one to do that for. The beautiful thing about Mall Madness is if you're a madman, you can do it in a weekend. You don't have to take Friday or Monday because the event goes Saturday night to Sunday morning. So you fly in Saturday afternoon, do the event, fly out Sunday afternoon, and it's like you were never gone.
Yeah.
dead come Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I can always take a day off, and I do. I work 4/10, so I do have 3-day weekends.
Yeah, there you go. But Mall Madness is the best HVZ.
We'll see. And then, of course, I don't know what's going on with Jared's stuff, but Luke mentioned like just at least checking that event out. We'll see. We'll see what that.
I didn't know if is he actually still doing them? I thought he was done with them, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, he does this thing. Jed.
Oh,
Jared's thing.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
We all know.
He'll do this thing where it's like, oh, I don't know if this will be the last one ever. I don't know if it's to stir up sales or whatnot.
Yeah, it's all hype.
So, but yeah, he usually I would, and that's the thing about events. Like I kind of like to know sooner than later. We still haven't heard anything, so it's like okay.
It's all a grift.
Who said that? Oh, I know who said that.
That's what we're looking at.
It's a fun event, but it's still a grift.
But really, I think the main stuff is for us. Like we're probably going to go pretty full force on RAG. Like a lot of us are going to RAG. That seems to be, and a lot of this too is like we're West Coast. I mean, if we're on the East Coast, we're probably really heavy into Maryland.
Yep.
It takes a lot out of us to all travel to Maryland. So that's
it looks like I might actually be going to RAG this year just because if I go to see Chelo again, he's not going to be there because he's going to be at RAG. So it's like maybe I'll just end up at RAG instead.
There you go. We'd love to have you.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Somebody mentioned that, Luchathor, you built a Centurion with an automatic compressor pump. That's actually where I got the idea for the Titan.
Mega XL.
I straight up ripped off his design.
Wait, is that Mega
Tell
XL
us about
or
it.
Mega?
Mega XL.
Mega, sorry.
Yeah, Mega XL. Yeah.
Lucha, tell us about it.
That is 100% where I got the idea for the Titan. Is he had just grafted in a whole car compressor, and I tried to originally integrate it a little bit fancier, so it had the little screen on the side, and I could change the PSI and all of that. And every time I tried to extend the wires on that to make them reach, it fried the board somehow. I have no idea why or how.
I was having troubles too on a similar compressor to what he had. I was trying to take the display and just add wires and make it longer, and I could not get that thing to not.
No. So what I ended up doing was the pump itself still worked if you just hooked power up to it directly, and so I grafted in a PSI shutoff switch. So the pump goes until it reaches a certain PSI, and then it turns itself off. And then as soon as you fire it, the PSI drops and it kicks right back in again. And I would have done it that way from the get-go, but it didn't occur to me that kind of a switch existed. Turns out they're on Amazon for $10.
Yeah.
So let's hear from Luchathor that you all stole his idea. Tell us about the Centurion.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah. So where did you get that idea?
Yeah, sure. So what do you call it? So I have a thing where I like grab like a thing and I'm like, oh, that'll fit in this barrel. So what I did was the front, the barrel, it comes disassembled from the Centurion body, right? So I took the front barrel apart, and that inner barrel lining for the Mega Dart or whatever, that's the same diameter as a Mega XL Dart if you pushed in. So it's like an actual barrel. So I figured that out, and then I just was like, what's strong enough to launch it? Oh, cool, Titan tank. So I did that, and then since it was meant to go on the Centurion, like body itself, you could just slide the whole inner barrel sleeve all the way through. So that's how I made mine like a breech. So that's kind of where that like mentality happened. I was like, oh, this fits. What can shoot it? Okay, let's go there. So
where is
and
that?
then I handmade it. It's on my parents' house.
Okay,
I have to grab that. But yeah, it still functions too. And then I handmade a stringed like a fishing line scar for Mega XL. So
nice.
When you're talking about the AccuFix on Mega XL or whatever, what I did what I did was I got a Mega XL body, and then the regular Mega like AccuFix.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I glued that and I put it into the body of like a headless Mega XL Dart, and with the rifling and on the scar, it went really far, really straight. I was able to hit boards easy. with Mega XL at that point. I think the highest I ever got
yeah,
with that was
I know
160.
Moose is gone, but he
Oh.
was asking. So it's cut the foam body off, shove an Acu Mega Dart into it.
That's what I did. But yeah, the highest I ever got that was like 160. But it has like a leak now, so I think it was like hitting like 120, 130 now. But again, for Mega XL, so that's pretty good. So,
Dude, that's awesome, man. See, don't be afraid to do stupid things, because then you make some great things. Even if it's still a stupid thing, it's still awesome. Oh, by the way, I was going to ask. So, based on the fact that, for example, because you guys are going to make Proton packs again, and the fact that the Nerf Rival Round is not made by Nerf, but there are knockoff companies, and I guess sometimes there probably will be blasters that are still sold but getting ammunition, much like if the Greg takes off. Is Out of Darts thinking about getting into the business of manufacturing or providing ammunition?
Yeah, but where are the Proton rounds, man? Bring back the Proton rounds.
Yeah, so Proton rounds, from what I understand, it was awesome. They're perfect. We just lost the source in the factory or something. Like it's just no more.
I know for a while they weren't able to compete with Headshot. Headshot was just too much cheaper, and they were good rounds. They weren't as good as Proton rounds, and then Headshot just became unusable.
Yeah, it's their quality. It was all over the place. Like you could get really good Headshot, you can get really bad hard Headshot that was like really hard. Luke showed me some of them.
It was closed cell foam. It just didn't compress at all. Like if I try to put this through a flywheeler, it's going to jam and fry my wheels.
Currently, our primary round is just the cheetah round. The cheetah ball or whatever you want to call it from Worker.
Yeah, by Worker.
And full transparency. They're for the most part they're fine. Their only fault is like 1 out of every 10 is a little bit softer. It's like a very soft foam. So it's like it I don't know. But softer's better than harder. So it's like okay, fine.
Yeah, you're just going to lose a lot of velocity on every 10th round, but
so every once in a while you'll see a round just kind of spin off and just kind of.
Yeah, I ran into that when I built Al's Titan Proton Pack Blaster. Is that whenever it hit one of those super soft rounds, the velocity would be so much slower that the next round would be going fast enough that it would jam.
Oh, it jam. Oh,
it would actually jam because the barrel on the Titan was small enough. You couldn't have two rival rounds at the same time. And it would actually come in under the squishy round and jam it in the barrel. And I was able to solve that just by reducing the rate of fire. Because I had it on the second highest rate of fire pusher that Out of Dart sells.
Yeah.
And I switched it to the next one down to the 600 and doesn't jam anymore, but you still would see a soft round poop out every once in a while. You're like, oh, okay, problem solved.
By the way, metallic pink, although it's a little champagne color, but I'm very excited about this.
Looks good.
If anybody likes pink.
Is anyone here involved in Merge Masters?
No. 1 year
Apparently
I should, but I just don't have the time.
Big.
Huh?
I guess this thing's too big for Merge Masters.
Really? I didn't know there was a size limit.
I think it's a Flex. Dr. Flex.
Yeah, that's the base blaster, and I'm doing two of these guys on the front.
2 scorpion barrels? Nice.
Yeah. And then there's an XBZ. Gonna have an adapter where I can swap out for little rocket attachments.
Nice.
Do you know, does XBZ have enough power to launch Titan rockets? Do you know?
No, it doesn't.
That's fine.
But it will fire Demolisher rockets just fine.
Yeah, Demolisher and Mega XL. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
The XBZ just doesn't have the air volume for a Titan rocket. I have tried. 24-inch limit this year. Well, that's just limiting.
Limiting.
One of these days I'll get around to it.
Oh, wait.
I've got a blaster I've wanted to do for years.
Yeah, and it's fine. I don't need to participate in those type of.
Are the barrels going to rotate? Are your barrels going to rotate?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Are they going to rotate the same direction or opposite?
So it's essentially 2 complete different circuits, which will have shutoffs. So probably when you see me running this thing, I'm probably going to be using one at a time to conserve ammo.
Nice.
But it's got the the ridiculous mode of, because I'm going to put PWMs on there for the pusher motors.
Yeah.
So you could crank it all the way up and literally fire, just stupid volumes.
Yeah, I keep meaning to do that on a Jupiter for a Proton pack.
But typically, I'm probably just going to be firing one barrel, lower setting, just.
Now, is this a self-contained unit or will it be Proton pack?
This is 2 Proton packs.
Dude, that thing is crazy, ridiculous fun. Yes, please.
So it's a double. Each one's a double pack like this.
Nice.
It's essentially the thing that they built for the Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yeah. The dual one. Cool. Yeah, mine's cheese ball tanks, and they feed just arm-mounted Zeus's.
Yeah. I've seen that build that you've done. It's pretty cool.
Yep. How are the hoses going to run? Are they going to run on either side of you, or will they both come to one side of you?
Yeah, so we're going to do on the back, because it's got a bunch of hose. See all this hose stuff? Yeah, so I'm just going to continue it out the back.
Uh-huh.
They're going to come out the back, and then they're just 2 of them are going to snake around.
Cool.
So obviously, one hose will be longer than the other.
Right.
To keep it, so it's just going to go.
So you'll have a selector for either left,
Yeah.
right, or both?
Yep. So on top here, it's going to be voltmeter, power, PWM, and maybe some lights, indicator lights or whatnot. And then so you can turn it, on off. So each side will have the circuit for each Proton pack. And then I also want to do, so this is all transparent or translucent. So I want to do LED effects.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can kind of see it here.
Dude. You're
That is
so
gonna be-
fancy.
Yeah, and then down here, this is going to pump the XPZ.
Oh, yeah.
I'm leaking.
Yeah, I don't know why, but whoever he bought that from sent it to him like with water in it.
What the hell, man?
That looks good. But yeah, that's
Homemade
What did I call
rival
it?
feeder
I called it
tank
something
is an office
stupid.
waste bin crammed in a tactical backpack. Yeah, the
did I
trick
call
is getting the tank that is the right size for your backpack so you're not
yes.
wasting space.
And that's what I just tried to test with this pack. It seemed really good. I'll put that short up tomorrow. Okay, so the Rapid Ballinator Monster XL.
Well, yeah,
what?
that's
The
it.
Rapid Ballinator Monster XL. That's what it's going to be called.
There you go.
Excellent. Good name is
By the
important.
way, Flux, I think we got Bethany asking who would be the best person to message regarding everything needed to be ordered for getting a Proton pack.
Oh, just was it orders at adadarts.com. This, and I'll give you so that we're going to put out public like messages that when it's available, so you can go and buy. It'll be on the front page. Everything.
I'll be
will
making
up there.
videos about it.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
pretty
just-
obvious, basically, when they're back on sale.
If you're paying even the slightest bit of attention, you'll know.
You'll know. If you send me an email now, I'm just going to give you the verbiage I've been telling everyone. So I guess the main thing is just follow the Facebook page or the Instagram or YouTube video or YouTube accounts. Yeah, just follow and you'll see when it's launched.
Perfect.
What motivates you all to get up and create content? I'll be honest, I've been having a lot of trouble with motivation. I've got wicked winter depression. It's cold and damp. I don't want to go outside. But I still do. Just because I enjoy
builds. Got to get some build going.
Yeah.
It's that I'm very project based, so
yeah,
that's what gets me excited. Like I'm working on a thing.
I'm very goal oriented too. What helped me for the longest time, and I really need to get back into it, is I had a very regular upload schedule.
Yeah,
I always did K26 every other week on Wednesday.
Oh,
I always did fan mail every other week on what?
We have a thing we wanted to approach you on, and I can kind of talk to you about it here if you want.
Let's talk.
Do it.
So we're looking to carry a wide variety of springs, like all the kinds of springs that you can imagine. And I think your K26 stuff, like what you did before, would be great for all these new springs that are more specific to the blasters that, so it's not like just shove one spring and out all these things and see what happens. There'll be more springs that we actually think go in a certain thing, but we just need to test it, right?
Yeah, and see, I did towards it's been a while since I did a K26, and I need to get back into it. I modified it from just can it take a K26 to can it take a K26, and if not, what can it take? Exactly. So if you then had the ones where I could, because you already sponsor the K26 series.
Yes.
Out of Darts already is the sponsor. So then it says, now it wouldn't take K26, but Out of Darts has this spring that it will take.
We have a lot of springs in the works, and we're looking to add more.
That would be amazing. That would definitely get me back into doing that series, because I could revisit old blasters then.
Yeah.
We go, remember this one on K26 where it couldn't? Well, now there's Out of Darts has this.
Yep.
I'm in.
So
no.
The idea is to get because over time, like you start to see there is a trend in because plunger tubes can only be so many
I mean, you knew all rival blasters can, all mag fed dart elite blasters can't.
But we're finding that we can supply a certain type of spring that will address a bunch of like here's one that we've just stumbled across. We're looking at the new X-Shot Fury, right? Well, it just so happens that it's the same spring as what the Busby what's the Busby thing that just came out? The skewer that basically
Twist Fury.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same spring. Like you can swap them pretty much, and get the results are a little bit different, but it's the same size and coils and everything. So then we're like, okay, well, whatever upgrade spring we come out with will be able to be used in both. But a show like what you're doing, you could confirm that and show it. Stuff like that.
I'm in. Let's do it.
I think we just found his inspiration. You just cured his winter blues, man.
And there is the whole thing that we're down the road too, and
you're
sometimes
south of me.
Sometimes it's just better just to hang out with some people and mod or whatever. That kind of helps with.
Yeah. When it's not so cold and damp, y'all gotta come up here and play with stuff on the range, and I gotta come down there and kick the door in and loot the place.
Yeah, like I said, our current setup, I don't have a range. Like I need to go shoot stuff. So
and I got a beautiful range. It goes ping and everything.
It's because Lucha over there wants his warehouse organized and stuff and won't give you room for a range. Thanks, Jose. Like, come on, man. Stop being selfish.
Sorry.
Free stuff. Fixed Captain Xavier. Imagine that. That's right. I'm a shameless fan. I refuse to feel bad about it.
I guess so. On that note, like, not that it's common or not, if people request like tours or to come see you if they're in your area, will Out of Darts do that? And if people actually want to do that, how can they make arrangements? In other words, I'm not telling people go knock on a damn door. It's a business. They're busy. It's not a theme park. But if you guys do offer that, is there a way of doing that?
Yeah, I mean, there's some because we have to run a business.
Yes.
So. But we do have people to do local pickups. They'll come in. But if you're talking about someone who wants to travel and come visit with us,
yeah, that might be they're realizing the area. Hey, can we stop by? Like what myself and Hixie did.
Okay, yeah, I mean, just contact us. Let us know the situation. We're pretty accommodating. Like, obviously we can't like do this all the time, but periodically if people want to pop in and we'll show them around and give them the tour and whatnot. We did an open house last year, which seems like it went really well. Was that last year?
Really well. It wasn't until I got home that I realized that I'd done it all wrong.
What's that? The open house?
Open house, yeah, because I got there and there were a couple of things you're like, okay, I'm absolutely grabbing that, but I'll let other people grab stuff. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to, take too much. And then I was one of the last people there, and Luke's like, you want the rest of this? And you're like, no, I don't need it. And it occurred to me, he was trying desperately to get rid of stuff. And I said no. And then like a week later, I'm like, Luke tried to give me that bin of strife cages, and now I need a strife cage, and I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be more of that, and I think with potentially nothing's been planned as of right now, but we probably will do another open house, I'd imagine.
If you can plan it on the weekend, I'm there. That'd be great. Not asking for favoritism, just saying.
Yeah. No, that is something that
I enjoyed the
I've
last
tried to work in to when people come to visit me, because I am set up to have people come visit. I got a
Yeah.
bunkhouse and everything. The roof is currently a little leaky. I need to fix that. But if they fly into like PDX, if the timing is right and they fly in while Out of Darts is open, yeah, I could arrange to swing by and
Yeah.
say hello. I did that for Al and Hixie.
Yeah, that seemed to work fine. I
Yeah,
don't have a problem with
that kind of thing. I mean, it all comes down to scheduling. If it's a day that they're super busy, they might say, "No, we can't take half an hour to give you a tour." And then the
Well, you
answer is
say
just
half an hour, but it's always
exactly. It always ends up being a lot longer. You start talking, you know.
Don't you guys get for the record? This is not a common thing. If it works, it works. If you're a dick, it's not going to happen. Sorry, I'll be the bad guy here because I live over here, not in the West Coast. And if you're pushed out in a half an hour, take that as a message where it's like work on your social skills or the stupid things that come out of your mouth.
I guess that's true.
Is this being recorded?
Because if you come in and you have good, you're just easy to talk to and polite and everything. Yeah, you stay as long as you want, I guess.
I'm just trying to
or
make a
they'll put you to work.
Yeah.
Hey, sort this inventory. Okay.
You wanted to visit. Shut up. Get to work.
Minimum wage. Get
if that. No. Just because you walked in the door, now you owe us time.
All
there
right.
you go. Get to work.
You've been here 8 hours. You've earned 1 Kraken motor.
Not even. You get a sticker. Oh, that's awesome.
Stickers. We go through so many stickers.
Oh, yeah. So what's the any changes or updates, or what are you guys doing like for merch in terms of do you guys have plans you guys talked about, or still the general like free stuff? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, we found as far as merch is concerned, we're looking on producing stickers and just throwing them in orders. That's kind of a big part of it. Some of the I don't know, we don't even carry patches, do we? We carry captain shirts, which I think we're actually
you're down to like a handful of smalls and extra smalls.
Yeah.
I think I can order one for a bandana.
I did do that.
I don't think.
Sorry, go ahead, dude.
But anyways, we're gonna lean harder into the just stickers. We like making stickers for various people in the hobby or blasters, or like our last one was Coda magazine inspired. We're gonna do a lot more of that. We're also looking at getting a sticker machine potentially to build do the prints, the stickers in house. So that'll be cool. Because right now I think we go through Sticker Mule and we are just giving them so much money. It's like, who would have thought stickers can cost hundreds of, if not thousands of dollars a year, but they do
easily, and you get good deals too, and it still happens. Hey, like this T-shirt, that's where I got it from.
Yeah.
Somebody's saying you need more Captain Xavier merch. I would love if you guys carried a patch again, because Foam Blast was doing my patches, and I didn't think to buy a bunch of them when they were available.
Oh yeah.
But what you could also do would be the various Captain Xavier catchphrases on stickers.
Yeah.
How very dare you? And
if you have any ideas, like if you commission any art done or anything, or if you have something that could be a sticker that we could run, just send it over. And we have a few right now we're looking at, because we want to run them like monthly or quarterly, so keep running new designs. It's the whole idea where there were added art stickers, covering the surface of the planet, and people were showing pictures of just things plastered with the added art sticker. It's like, those could be different stickers, and so that's what kind of led us onto this whole. Let's represent the hobby a little bit with various different types of stickers.
You want to do? Let me know if you want to do these. The Al the Geek approved one. I'll sell you the artwork.
Oh, that's cool.
I need to get a thing to put stickers on, because I have a mountain of various stickers I've gotten from various places, but I don't put stickers on stuff.
Yeah, I took an old arcade machine and turned it into a shooting station and then plastered that with stickers. You just find a thing and just get like we're doing the large Rubbermaid storage containers.
Mm-hmm.
Just plaster one of those.
Yeah, I do have a whole bunch of like the Gorilla trunks that I use for storing stuff. I should just pick one and start plastering it.
Cover
Do
your
it.
car.
An idea that I've seen two different ways of doing this for wearing all the patches, because my patch wall is full. And I've seen two cool ways to do, or I've seen one in person, and then Luchathor had an idea for one that I still would like to see implemented. A guy in England, Spectre from the auxiliary, had a knee length vest.
Okay.
That was just made out of Velcro material, and so you could just stick nothing but it was just put all the patches you wanted, and it looked kind of like the Klingon tunics that they would wear over as their formal wear. It was that, but just Velcro.
I don't know why I was envisioning the wall, the Velcro wall, where you jump and stick on it. I was envisioning that suit.
No, that would work too. But then Luchathor had the idea of having the Japanese style banner that's mounted on your back, and just having a rectangle of patch fabric and just putting all the patches on that.
I've seen people do it on the drop pouches, which looks pretty cool.
Yeah, see, anywhere on my gear that has room that has Velcro.
Because they actually the big drop pouch, they had a giant piece of fabric. I don't know if it's Boomstick or someone. Someone had it. I was like, that's a good idea.
Boomstick. It was Neil.
And I have a couple of where it's a panel that foots on Molly that's just a big rectangle of patches. And I've put patches on that, and I've added Velcro to things and added patches. And some of like my mag pouches have a little section of Velcro from where the flap used to go, and I'll put patches on that. And I still have too many patches to put on.
Hey, I just had an idea. I just had an idea for stickers. Now you guys talking about panels and patches. Why don't you just make a large tower shield for Nerf, and then you just put a plaster with stickers?
I have seen someone who they had a plexiglass tower shield, and then they'd stickered around the edge. And we're moving up the bottom, so they could still see through the part they needed to, but they were slowly. That's not a bad idea. I could.
It's cool because you can show it off when you go to events and whatnot. You got your
and just have people here add your stickers.
Also, that's like
I love tower shields. Yeah, no, that's a great idea, Al. Thanks. I'm going to do that one.
It's perfect. Once you do that tower shield, then when I have the Greg, then we can say with the Greg, shooting at close ranges, can the shield withstand the Greg?
So you're telling me I need to get an actual bulletproof shield. I can't just make a cheap plexiglass one.
Cheap plexiglass one, but we'll keep it at 30 yards and out.
Riot shield.
Yeah.
Polycarbonate riot shield.
What we got in the comments? We got any good comments? Ask some questions. Train. Yeah, somebody wants a train sticker.
Everybody wants a train sticker, man. Everybody. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. Catchphrases, I tell you. Everyone needs a catchphrase.
Shameless fan. That would make a good sticker. Shameless fan of free stuff.
Yes.
With my collection of stickers that I've accumulated over the years, I think it would be cool to like completely cover a blaster. Just have a Nerf hobby blaster just covered.
Just keep adding, so eventually the old stickers get completely buried by new stickers, and it's 3 layers thick.
Yep.
Why is your blaster jammed? Well, stickers.
Well, why is it sticky? Never you mind. Yeah, I've got admin panels for Molly.
This is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, if you're looking at the clock, we got about 5 or 10 minutes left because we're old and tired. So if you're going to ask a question, ask it now. Otherwise, we will cut you off and say, you know what, we're old and we're done. And we'll say goodbye. Ask a question now.
I'm hungry, man. I need to go eat something. I had cereal at like 7 in the morning and then a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch. I think I'm gonna have chicken.
Are you doing another event with the homeschoolers?
I did. They gave me pasta.
Shut up.
I got so much pasta.
It's weird.
Boxes and boxes of macaroni, boxes and boxes of rotini, fettuccine, penne, egg noodles, thin egg noodles, wide egg noodles.
Dude, how much money did you sorry, how much pasta did you have, like boxes or packages? Rough guess.
Like 4 grocery bags full of pasta.
Why are you still operating in the barter system?
Because it's fun and he wants to see what they'll
it
bring him.
amuses them. And like, okay, the first time it was root beer, and I ended up with 15.5 gallons of root beer. I'm still not out of root beer.
Have you been doing content on this stuff?
No, they asked me not to because it's all children.
That's true. Well, I'm just saying the whole payment thing. It's so wild.
I could. It would be hilarious, and I kind of wish I had, but no, I didn't.
Well, I mean, there's a way to do it without showing like just the pile. It's like, oh my goodness.
But yeah, 15.5 gallons of root beer. I still have 4 12 packs I haven't gotten to. I've still got a couple of 2 liters I haven't even gotten to. I don't actually drink as much soda as you'd think, so it lasts. The second time they gave me 35.5 pounds of cheddar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't all cheddar. There was like some shredded cheese and there was some other stuff, but it was mostly Tillamook sharp cheddar.
Do you know Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
Ron Swanson.
Oh yeah. I had to watch Parks and Rec because people kept comparing me to Ron Swanson. And I hadn't seen it, and I didn't know if this was a compliment or not. And in hindsight, I do consider a compliment. He was the only decent human being on the whole show.
I bring him up because the guy in real life, when he goes out, like people constantly bring him bacon.
Yes.
And when and he'll go to a restaurant and like he'll get a burger and they'll pile on like literal 5 pounds of bacon, and they're all looking at him like, "Oh, you're gonna eat the bacon?" Like he's like, "You can't eat this much bacon," But the character is all about bacon.
Yeah. Oh, like, bring me all of the eggs and bacon that you have.
Yeah, and so they will literally do that to him. Mm-hmm. And then sit there and wait for him to consume all the eggs and bacon.
Yeah, and it happened because when they asked me if I would run this Nerf war for the homeschool society, I said, yeah, pick a day. I got lots of bandwidth. At the time, I had lots of bandwidth. I have less bandwidth now than I did then because I've switched roles at work. I was like, yeah, I got plenty of time. Let's do a Wednesday. I'll run a Nerf war just for the homeschool kids. And like, well, what's it going to cost? I was like, yeah, get me some root beer. And I was expecting him to bring me a bottle of root beer to sip while I ran the war for him. No, it got translated as every family must bring Captain Xavier some root beer. Like
he wants to bathe in root beer.
And then the next time it was cheese, and there was this mountain of cheese, and everyone thought it was hilarious, and they thought it was the coolest thing that they're paying for this event in cheese rather than cash. One person, the local store was out of cheese because everyone had bought it all. And so instead, they brought me 4 cans of solid white albacore tuna because that's an equivalent.
It's the cheese of the ocean.
It was delicious. Best tuna I've ever had. And then this time, I gave them a whole list of things to choose from, and they decided to go with pasta. So I've got a year's worth of pasta now. And the beautiful thing is, pasta will keep, root beer will keep. It's canned, and cheese will just age. But I mean, I'm actually almost out of the cheese. Took me 3 months to go through 35.5 pounds of cheese.
He is being serious. We were there when he had the mountain of root beer and the mountain of cheese. So yeah, trust me, it was there. He's being serious.
I guess it's almost 5 months now because that was in like October.
It was in October, man.
Yeah,
but
I also gave a lot of the cheese away because I didn't want the shredded cheese, so I gave that to people who actually will eat shredded cheese because they have no standards and are just hobos in their own houses. And then there was Thanksgiving and there was Friendsgiving, and I brought cheese to all
my friends.
To all of those events. I just brought cheese and then just left it there. At the end of the event, people's like, "Whose cheese was this?" I'm like, "Yours now, punk." Because somebody brought me mild cheddar. Do I look like a peasant? I haven't eaten mild cheddar in my life. So I just ditched that at somebody else's house.
So for those watching along at home, if you didn't know, yes, he is a cheese snob. So
Swamp Cat has now become a cheese snob. She won't eat anything but the extra sharp.
Everything else, nope. Cheese snob. If you're gonna bring the cheese,
we will
bring
not
the
touch
cheese.
the provolone. Don't even look at her with the mozzarella. It'll be Tillamook extra sharp whiter. Get out.
Get out of my house. Forget about this. Oh, I saw earlier Alex McPherson had said for your dart catcher, if you painted the top orange and then put stickers on the back wall of the dart catcher, that'd be a place also you could sticker up.
There you go.
I can't reach that area.
You'll figure it out if you really want to. Then you buy something, you sticker it, and you just hang it in the back or something. You'll figure it out.
Get a wall.
He's thinking or lost in days. But anyways, yes.
I'm looking at the comments.
Oh, okay.
This is the Captain Xavier lore that people want to know.
It is. This is why we do it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 10 o'clock. Someone's got to feed. Our man behind the curtain probably's got to go to bed because he's got to work tomorrow too. But anyways, once again, just want to thank everyone for tuning in as always. Welcome to the World Foam Alliance. Our website is going, man. I'm excited about it. It's going to be worldfoamalliance.com, and the store will be live actually very soon. So we are making headway, and we're very excited about that. Also, if you haven't, be sure to subscribe and like the YouTube channel. Again, we are a nonprofit. What does that mean? It's because we make no money. So I'll say it's a nonprofit, but it's because we make no money. Any money we can make will be great because then we can put it back into the website, which means it's less money out of my pocket, Cap's pocket, and everybody else's. But this is a venture that we very believe in, and it's something we want to make happen, unifying everybody because there's so many of us all over the place, and we want to make this the avenue where we can find each other. And if you watched along, you saw the four of us. It's not like we knew each other before in a previous life. We met all through this hobby, and we have so much. You see how much fun we have online. You can only imagine what happens in person. Obviously, there's probably more swearing and other things, but you know what? That's a different version, and you'll have to pay for that.
That's on Luchathor's channel.
That's on Luchathor's channel. Something about like Jello wrestling. Anyways, that's not the point. So again, if you haven't, be sure to like and subscribe to the page. We're very excited about another fantastic year. Next Wednesday, one Andrew, aka Dark Sweep. Another episode of Foam Zone, and he will actually have Buff Daddy. Buff Daddy will be on the stream with him, so we look forward to that. To give you an idea, if you don't know who Buff Daddy is, it almost seems like Buff Daddy has created every cage that exists everywhere because I think he's had a hand in all of them. He's the one that actually helped with
the cage that's in your Titan, yeah.
Absolutely, which is fantastic. After that, Cap and I will have another guest. We might have somebody from Australia, but we've got to confirm that, so I never said that. But anyways, we'd like to thank, again, Dr. Flux and Luchathor from Out of Darts. Yeah, you heard me, from Out of Darts. That's how awesome it is, man, for being on the show with us. Gentlemen, quickly, you want to tell anything to anybody or where they can find you or where they should go next?
Dr. Flux, Google it. You'll find something. Yeah, thank you for having me on the show, and it's a pleasure. Always enjoy talking to you guys.
Dude, it's always fun, man. What about Jose? What do you got over there?
Well, first off, thanks for having me. This has been a pleasure. And if you want to see what I'm doing or what I'm up to, Instagram is what I'm more like on. Just Luchathor 13. So, but yeah, or just Out of Darts. I'm there.
I'm there.
Dude, that's awesome. Luchathor does really talk more in person. It's just helpful when he doesn't have three loudmouths like the rest of us around him. So
can't get a word in edgewise with these schmucks.
His friends, yeah. But anyways, outofdarts.com. Be sure to go check it out. And again, as we announced, the Proton pack is coming soon. The Momentum is coming soon. Cap is going to be selling stuff. Again, buy Cap stuff, send him money so we can send him to different places near you. All right. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. As always, we love having you, man. We just love doing this, man. And we hope to see you soon next time. And remember, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Where's my sign?